Marvel Legends, Marvel Knights, Mindless One Build-A-Figure Wave, Luke Cage, Power Man. Let's get it. What is good, my peeps? It's the Ruckus back at you again with another action figure review. We're talking about number 2 in the Marvel Knights series of reviews. It's the latest wave from Marvel Legends. This is a wave that is only available online or in specialty shops like GameStop. So don't go looking for it in Walmart or in Target because you won't find it. Anyway, this is number 2. Number 1, we just got done reviewing Daredevil, or King Daredevil, if you will. And if you don't understand that reference, go peep the video and you'll know what I'm talking about. Anyway, you see the packaging. Speaking of that, you see that it's the return of window packaging, so you can clearly see the figure, not an image of the figure, not photography, not artwork, the figure itself. You see the accessories with the figure. You also see the Build-A-Figure piece. Unfortunately, that's not very much to speak of, but at least we can see them. So there you have it. We do have this back so you can play the quote-unquote quality control game, except for one thing. They're not available in any retail unless you happen to find them at GameStop, so you still have to order them, and you'll still be subject to the depredations of whatever outlet that you order these from online. So it's kind of redundant, but it's still nice to be able to see the figures within the packaging. So we will just, you know what I'm saying? We'll roll with that. We'll look at the top here. We've got LC, that is the Luke Cage logo, and it kind of sort of looks like the logo from the MCU, I think. I don't know. Doesn't really matter at this point. Turn to one side. We've got artwork of Luke Cage. This artwork is someone went on and paid homage to John Byrne. This was taken from the issue Escapes Me, but it was when Luke Cage teamed up, partnered, I should say, with Iron Fist, and John Byrne had done that cover. The other side is the same thing. We turn to the back, and there's more of it. And yes, if like I said, I can't think of the name of the issue, but it was the first issue of Power Man and Iron Fist, where you see them, Luke Cage in this very pose. So it was definitely an image that was used again. This isn't by John Byrne, but someone emulated and copied John Byrne's work. Below we have the figures in this wave, and all 7 figures. We have an image of the Mindless One, and you see the numbers there. Those are the parts. You assign those numbers to the figures in the wave, and those figures have that piece that is numbered the same. We also have the return of the bios, and that would be for Luke Cage, Power Man, having accidentally gained superhuman strength and bulletproof skin from a science experiment. Luke Cage becomes a hero for hire, known as Power Man. Here's Luke Cage getting a 360-degree look at the character in his classic look from the 70s. That means he's got the yellow shirt, totally unbuttoned, and he's got the wristbands, keeping the sleeves tucked in, the black pants, the yellow boots, and of course the chain for a belt, which is symbolic to him being a prisoner and him escaping. He's being unchained, and of course the most iconic part of his old classic look is the tiara that he wore on his head. So you see what we got going on there. We have, in terms of his accessories, we just have the sets of hands that you saw in the packaging, and that's it. Just some grippers, and that's it. And he also comes with the left leg of the mindless one. So we'll set that aside until we amass all of the parts, and then we'll put the mindless one together and see what that looks like. Taking a closer look at our Luke Cage Power Man, we can first take a gander at that head sculpt, and looks pretty nice. It's totally neutral. We only got hands. It would have been nice if we got a more assertive portrait. Gritting teeth. You've heard me speak on that before. I think it should come standard with all the figures to have a neutral head sculpt like this, and one with expression, and especially one exhibiting exertion or anger of some kind. That's just me. You guys can tell me what you think down below in the comments. Speaking of that, like, share, and subscribe. Like the video and subscribe to the channel. I'll revisit that at the end of the video. Anyway, that looks pretty good. This tiara is looking nice. It's a separate piece, and I believe it is molded in a silver. Hair is nice black. There's no wash or anything in it. It's just black, and everything else is looking good. The torso is looking nice. This is an overlay, this shirt, over the chest, so he was molded in brown skin. Pigmentation there, and then there's an overlay, and if you're looking at that overlay, you see that it goes all the way down to his, we'll call it, navel, and you don't see any indicators of an ab crunch or anything like that. That's because according to Hasbro, they didn't want to give him an ab crunch, because then that would break up the look that you see right there. So what we did get is a waist joint, like a ball peg waist joint. We'll see how that works when we do our articulation. You look at the sides there, you see the arm looks, that's molded in yellow, and the wristband is silver, and of course the fists, and you've got that on both sides. Here's something of note that isn't too cool. You turn to the side there. Like I said, the shirt is an overlay over the brown molded torso, and the arms are molded yellow, and they're broken up. You see the skin there, so that's not really a good look. So you will be, if you're going to try to avoid showing that, you're limited in your options in how you display your Luke Cage. You've got the chain here, molded in a silver plastic. It looks all right. It does. I've seen other items molded silver that looked cheaper than this, so I guess that's an upgrade for Hasbro. Then of course you got the black pants, and then the yellow boots, and of course there's nothing going on in the back there as far as his articulation. He's on a ball hinge. He can look up that far. Not that bad. Look down that much. He's not getting too much in the way of pivot. He can, of course, rotate. He can T-pose. And there's no butterfly joints. But this is as far as he can rear back, which means that he'll only get this much going, as far as we'll call it the hand clap test, even though no figure is ever going to achieve it more than likely. He's got bicep swivel. 360 there. He's got double jointed pinless elbows, pretty good. He's got rotating wrists, and they horizontally hinge. Now here's the part where I'm talking about with the waist ball joint. It's all in the waist, so he can go side to side. He could bend forward just that much, back about that much. He can lean with it, he can rock with it, and he can twist, as you can see right there. Legs, he could do the splits at the hips that far. He can kick 90 degrees forward. You get some going back. You've got the thigh cut. He's got double jointed pinless knees. Cool. Strangely enough, he has no boot rotation at the top of the boot. I don't get that either. That's a perfect opportunity to get that articulation. He can't point the toe forward that far, up that far. He does have ankle pivot, and you know what time it is. Holes. Peg holes at the bottom of his feet. Here's a look at Luke Cage with his open grasping hands. For comparisons, we have here Luke Cage from the Amazon exclusive Defenders 4-pack box set. And this is more or less, I say, how Cage appears today. He doesn't refer to himself as Power Man anymore, and he wears t-shirts, not necessarily yellow all the time. He's been portrayed wearing a black tee, and these days they show him wearing a suit because he is the mayor of New York. Yes, indeed. Anything can happen in the comics where you could have an ex-con become the mayor. You could have the Kingpin, who's also an ex-con, by the way, become the mayor. And in fact, Cage is the one that succeeded Wilson Fisk, aka the Kingpin. So you see that this version of Cage is a little taller than our Luke Cage Power Man version, Marvel Knights version, and it's almost appropriate because he's definitely, in terms of his height, he's listed at 6'6", so that is definitely appropriate, but don't get it twisted. Our Marvel Knights version has got a bit of height on him as well. To illustrate that point, let's take a measurement of our Luke Cage Power Man, and he is coming in just a tick over 6.5 inches tall. So, yep, he's got some height on him, just a bit. This isn't the first time that we've seen Luke Cage in his classic look in Marvel Legends form. Way back in the Toy Biz days, we got Luke Cage in his classic look. It was back in the Mojo Wave, or series. They were called series back then. So, yep, you see the differences. You see how far Marvel Legends has come since then. And here he is next to the only other figure in this wave I've reviewed thus far. We've got Daredevil, or King Daredevil, if you will. So my final thoughts on the Marvel Legends, Marvel Knights, Mindless One Build-A-Figure wave, Luke Cage Power Man is very nice. We wanted to get an updated Power Man. I'm not necessarily certain that this is what we wanted in terms of, I mean, the look is great. In that's what we wanted. This look is great. However, the lack of any true ab articulation, diaphragm articulation, torso articulation is telling. You see this pose I've got here. It would have definitely been better served if I could get him to crouch a little bit better. This would look a little bit more dynamic. And then, of course, I guess I got to mention it as well. If we had an angrier face, this would have looked even better as well. But this is what we got. I understand why we didn't get any ab crunches, because it would have broken up that sculpt right there. But be that as it may, it definitely takes away from the overall enjoyability, playability of the figure. Still a nice figure, nice size. It does look good. I can't front on that. So this is what we got. Now all we got to do is get an updated Iron Fist in his green, his classic green costume with the sweet yellow booties. And then we'll have our Power Man and Iron Fist team, classic Power Man and Iron Fist team, revisited, restored, renewed, and we'll be able to utilize that. Anyway, with that said, I need you guys to like the video, give it a thumbs up, if you will, give it a thumbs down if you have to. What can I tell you? You know, you got control of that. Definitely leave comments below. Subscribe if you have not done so. Share the video. please do that so others can get a chance to do all of the same things, to like and share and subscribe. And there's a comment section down there. I need you guys to, hit that up. What do you think about this figure? What do you think about the things I said about the caveats to the figure? And your thoughts on that. There's a bell down there if you want to be notified for when I upload another video. Hit that and you will be notified. Dudes, that's how it gets done.